It's crazy. The next decade in Europe is going to be proto-fascists, 100%. Marine Le Pen in France, as Macron's influence is waning, you're going to see that, which is already happening. She's the next leader, okay? I speculate here, but you already have Meloni in Italy, okay? And AFD is gaining momentum in Germany. It's happening. Not even proto-fascists, like actual full-blown fascists.
Those who...
Here. Bro, the UK got a minister for common sense and combat wokeness. So, you're all right about the rest of Europe, but AFD are not proto-fascists. Yeah. Okay, the AFD are fascists, not proto-fascists. Here's the problem. Here's the thing. These guys are not like 1938 fascists. They have abandoned certain concepts, or they have reframed certain concepts for the new time and place. Okay? What do I mean by this? What I mean by this is, like, for example, Hungary will be anti-NATO and align in certain instances with Russia, but simultaneously they are reliant on EU dollars, okay, euros. On the other hand, in Italy, given the fascist movement in Italy is directly a result of NATO, you have the likes of Meloni, who will criticize NATO, but ultimately will be the biggest NATO dick riders. Okay? In Germany, you will have some anti-NATO sentiment, even though it is identical as well. NATO is responsible for German fascists, German Nazis, maintaining their power and prominence in West Germany. They might say anti-NATO things, and they certainly might have secret anti-Semitism, but they will usually just cast that aside for the much more populist anti-Islam sentiment. Meloni ran on anti-NATO shit, but then immediately was like, I love NATO. Because why wouldn't she? NATO helped fascists stay in positions of power. NATO literally personally allowed, in Italy especially, for fascism to thrive. So why the fuck would they be anti-NATO? Of course she's not going to be anti-NATO. She knows where her bread is buttered. Here, German here, AFD and CDU, CSU are both very bad. Not just AFD are becoming more and more unhinged. So that is a direct consequence of AFD. What do I mean by this? If you look at Macron, okay, who is a centrist neoliberal, center-right neoliberal, maybe center-left, but mostly center-right neoliberal, Macron, over the course of the past couple of years, in order to maintain his power and his political prominence, has tried to triangulate with neoliberal austerity economics, but then also social conservatism. Okay? That is precisely what Macron did. No, I'm saying Macron went from a centrist center-right to more right-wing. Okay? Why did he do this? He did this because that is the exact same thing that the Democratic Party did over the course of the past couple of decades in America. Okay? The ratchet effect, as we've talked about. Macron did this in France, and what ended up happening in France? Okay? What ended up happening in France? Now, Marine Le Pen has gained more prominence as a consequence of that, because all you've done is now legitimize the social conservatism of Marine Le Pen. CDU is Angela Merkel's party, yes, and the AFD is now pulling them further to the right. When you are a center-right party, all you end up doing is like make concessions in an effort to play politics. When you end up making concessions to the right because you find them, the fascists, to be less of a problem, whether because you are oblivious to their prominence and oblivious to your own country's history, or because you legitimately, just like liberals did literally last time, in Germany specifically, aligned with the fascists, thinking that they are going to be way less scary than the communists and the trade unionists and the socialists. It hasn't been 100 years since the 30s, okay? We're not even at 100 years, and bar for bar, we are repeating the exact same mistakes. It is blowing my mind, okay? The French mitigated a lot of potential damage by LARPing along. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. I disagree. The French Socialist Party is a majority in France. It is the leading coalition in the French parliament. The left is gaining prominence in France, my dude. Mélenchon almost won, my dude. I am very familiar with French politics, okay? I know. I understand this. Just fucking wait, my dude. Okay? Just wait. Just sit back and wait. We'll see. I'm a firm believer that European countries, just like the United States of America, will always find or will always serve as a bottleneck for further left movements. Okay? And Mélenchon himself is no longer in power. And the last time around, my dude, Mélenchon's party and the French left lost as a consequence of all of the other green and all of the other fucking supposedly left of center parties ended up siding with the fucking liberals. They used every little fucking vote they had to disrupt the momentum of the left. They did that. Historically speaking, the left or other, ostensibly leftist parties always end up playing the role of spoiler for actual mobilizing leftist parties that have an opportunity to seize power. Also because Merkel retired and we currently have a social democrat, green, libertarian coalition, and the Conservative Party is leading hard to the right in their opposition work since our left was already acting pretty neolib. Yes. These are all things to consider when looking at European politics. Look to Rosa Luxemburg if you want to understand what happens with social imperialism, okay? Stalin called it social fascists, but, not going to use that term, but yeah. My face with Imperial Core is not socialist. I mean, a lot of people in this community joke about like the Israeli left, but the American left is no different, realistically. Like, yeah, on the Israeli leftist side, there are a lot of there are people who are anti-apartheid to varying degrees, but overall their voices are marginal, right? Well, it's no different than being a fucking anti-imperialist leftist voice in America. Okay? You say, what Israeli left? But, I mean, we do the same shit here. How many communities are out there that, like, openly will say things along the lines that, like, America's interest in maintaining its hegemonic power, America's, actions in becoming the world superpower have been very bloody. When you say stuff like that, liberals fucking pounce on you. They get very mad. Supposedly progressives. Anyway, what do I mean by this? You got guys like Noah Smith who are, who claim to be social democrats. I guess like he's more of a neoliberal. He's an interesting fellow. I think he's like pro-socialized medicine, but also when it comes to foreign policy, it's just like, might as well have, Voice of America write all of the articles for him, even though that would require someone to like actually read stuff from think tanks, whereas he just basically rehashes Twitter takes that he saw on his Substack, but he learns through the process, and I welcome that, and I think that's great. He's a major India dick rider as well, which I think is at least an honest position. From his perspective, it's more honest to be an India dick rider, okay, than anything else. One second. Hold on. I'm gonna receive. Okay. Yeah, she's very baby girl right now. As I was saying, at least he's like more honest, even though his India dick riding is kind of odd. But what I was trying to say is, he thinks India is a great example, and he hates China. Okay, which is odd, because we are almost on like the exact place. What the hell? The hell? Who the hell died and made you the mayor of this town? Okay? Mayor of Placing. Baby girl is going crazy right now. You guys see that? What was I saying? What was I saying? Oh, where was I? You saw that on top of sending people from the area all over the world, it is also being suggested by the international community pay for it as well. What? Okay, listen. So this conversation on Twitter that I'm going to briefly mention about American foreign policy before diving into like actual news started off with this take from No Opinion, okay? He said, he was talking to Waleed Shahid, friend of the show. Most Americans likely associate U.S. foreign policy with Normandy and the fall of the Berlin Wall. We're the good guys. But most people around the world associate U.S. foreign policy with overseeing the massive civilian casualties, overthrowing governments we don't like: Philippines, Cuba, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Korea, Iran, Guatemala, Vietnam, Chile, Nicaragua, Afghanistan, and Iraq. So what's funny about this, of course, is that like America is still a very popular country in many of these countries, including Vietnam, as a matter of fact. Okay? That doesn't change the reality that what America has done in Vietnam is gross and unjustifiable. You still have children being born with serious physical disabilities as a consequence of the chemical warfare that we engaged in Vietnam. The idea that this is like somehow permissible because the Vietnamese now dick ride America and hate China and think America will save them from China is psychotic. Okay? But they don't like the American policy. They like American movies. This is another thing that people do not understand. Like, American dick riders love talking about how much these countries love us. These countries love us. It's like, no, bitch. Let me tell you something. Okay? We that grew up outside of the United States of America love the culture. Okay? The export. The cultural imperialism. We do not love George W. Bush. We do not love American presidents. We do not love American foreign policy. We like the Coca-Cola and we like the Hollywood movies. Okay? And it's great. Hollywood is fucking awesome. It is America's greatest export. Greatest export, bar none. Okay? We love the Big Macs, we love the excess, and we love the Coca-Cola. Nobody is like, man, I sure love the coups that America is doing or the wars that it engages in. Yeah, they like the consumerist aspect of it. Sports are pretty cool. We love NBA. Brazil, 1964, we won't forget. So, a lot of dumbasses online that want to defend America run this fucking idea that like, well, all polls say these people love America and Americans. And it's like, no, man, they love the fucking movies and shit. Shut the fuck up. And also, many of those polls suspiciously do not feature any of the fucking global south countries that America has had direct involvement with. For some reason, there's no like mention of Chile or Bolivia or any of these other fucking countries. For some reason, I don't know why. Anyway, now, Having said that, Noah dropped this little tidbit, said, leftists continue to just slip Korea into their list of bad U.S. wars, expecting the rest of us not to notice. Honestly, one sign that America won the Korean War is the fact that our leftists are still so angry about it. Yeah. Famously, the Korean War is also regarded as the forgotten war, which, by the way, from Noah's estimation, is because it was so successful. How did we win the Korean War? Oh, that's right. By literally reducing everything that is now known as North Korea to rubble, by death and destruction, by utilizing, according to some research, we'll be getting more information about that, U.S. Air Command in Korea bragged about killing 1/5 of the Koreans. Also engaging in, potentially, chemical warfare from all of the new information that we got from our new allies in Japan. Okay. Thought she was moving again. Also, note that he thinks this was bad for the U.S. to help Afghanistan defend itself against the Soviets in 1979. Leftists just sit around dreaming of an empire of their own. Most Americans likely associate your foreign policy. Again, another massive concept of blowback. What happened, and it wasn't in 1979. What happened before 1979? The radicalization of Mujahideen factions was done specifically. Dude, by the way, there's a bunch of people who are now calling me fat, which I think is really funny. Because, like, I just did a fucking nude calendar photo shoot. And I can't tell if it's, like, haters that are saying that to be, like, to try and, like, find new fat material for themselves. I saw this online. I saw this on Twitter. Like, someone was like, you're a fat commie LARPer. And I was like, bitch, what do you mean fat? Fuck you mean? Anyway. Okay, go. No, it's okay. Kaya, it's okay, go. Go. She was just drinking water. I pulled the trigger too soon. Go. Okay, don't move. Calling you fat is easy because you're insecure about it and get under your skin. No, I mean, I'm definitely comfortable enough with my body. But I do think that, I mean, I have body dysmorphia for sure. I have body dysmorphia, but I'm certainly very comfortable with my body, especially at the top of the hour when there's a 3-minute ad break, which is completely unrelated to what I was going to say, but I wanted to segue. Anyway, if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. Yes, that's right. A nudie calendar is coming out for Fear and. We shot it yesterday. That's why I had eyeliner on. Here's the 3-minute ad break now, by the way. People paying you OnlyFans money to see your mostly nude calendar. Fuck anyone calling you fat. Yeah. It's okay to be fat. You know, I am. I mean, it is okay to be fat. It's also fucking nuts to be like, Hasan, you're fat. Anyway, where was I? All the Fear and people are on it? Yes. So the point is, America's involvement leading up to the invasion of the USSR in Afghanistan, which was gloated about far after the fact, is pretty obvious. You need to watch like one fucking documentary or read a single article to come to this conclusion if you would like to understand it a little bit better, but that would require you to be a curious person and not an incurious, stupid person. Okay? But regardless, so Noah, with his wonderful foreign policy takes once again, I mean, he went from like talking about econ stuff to foreign policy, and his dive into foreign policy has just basically been like rehashing whatever the absolute fuck is being said by, all of these think tanks, right? But yeah, the idea that like he's gloating about like arming the Mujahideen like he's fucking Zbrevnev Brzezinski in 1994 to a fucking French magazine is really weird. I fucked up his name. I'm sorry. It's very hard to say his name. I should never attempt to say a Polish man's name. Zbigniew Brzezinski. Isn't his whole thing America good? Lol, a little ironic. I know. It is. And when your thing is like America good, you can do a couple things. You can be like, well, look at all the other guys. Okay? Look at all the other guys. They're so bad. America has to do everything it can. In a way, it is like identical to the defense of Israel, right? In a way, it is nearly identical to the defense of Israel. Israel's national security concerns trump all. Israel's national security concerns are more important than the apartheid regime, and it's like absolute devastation it brought upon 6 million Palestinians that are permanent refugee outside of historic Palestine, and the 5 million Palestinians living under the occupation. Yes, Brzezinski is Mika's dad from Morning Joe. I know. So It is always identical. It's like America had to do Iraq. America had to do Afghanistan. America had to do Vietnam. The domino effect. We had to do all of these things because if we don't do these things, then like, ooh, the big bad guys are going to come in and take control. These Twitter neolibs are just the new version of Reddit atheists. They're Western chauvinists who hide it behind America isn't great, but everyone else is worse. Exactly. I think ultimately, here's what's important. It is all Western chauvinism in the end. And the reason why people have this position is because they think, well, I'll be honest, I like living here. I like the hamburger. Okay. Yeah, it sucks that I don't have health care. I don't want to examine why. But I like hamburger. And also, China's scary. Also, Russia's scary. The USSR, scary. Not Russia. Russia is a totally different kind of scary. I like hamburger. I want to eat hamburger. I feel maybe Afghan warlord will come and take hamburger away. Okay? Noah says America is relatively good, and you say America is objectively bad. Because America is objectively bad. There is some good in America, and America has a lot of promise, but by every metric of success, being the wealthiest nation on the planet, America has failed. It's absolutely failed with all of its power, with all of its influence, with its economy, with all of the wealth that exists here. The fact that there are still people dying on the fucking streets due to homelessness, the fact that there are still people when we have an abundance of food, for example, the fact that there are still people who are food insecure in this country is insane. It's crazy. Any kind of developing nation that, democratically decides to try out socialization principles after getting a fucking loan from the IMF before getting cooed would absolutely, if they operated like America with the amount of relative wealth that they have to how much they can help their own citizens before America comes in and implements austerity measures and a fascist coup, if that doesn't work out, obviously, would literally be considered a demonstrable failure. You have to analyze what governments are doing and adjust them to their own personal material conditions. When you look at the USSR or when you look at China, for example, there was a lot of bad things that happened in the USSR. Make no mistake. There's a lot of mismanagement. There's a lot of, awful, chaotic things that took place. I agree. I think that it's important to learn from the mistakes of the USSR, like forcible Russia, what is it called? Russianization? Russification, sorry. Forcible Russification in the USSR. Horrible policy. Trying to stop any kind of like religious momentum from growing. Terrible policy. These are not good ideas. These are objectively bad ideas. These are very harmful ideas. And it also contributed to the downfall. Okay? It contributed to the downfall of the USSR. So, I acknowledge all that. But if you look at it from a pure econ perspective, the fact that they went from an agrarian society that engaged in collectivization over the course of like 50 years, which brought about a tremendous amount of pain and suffering, same with China as well, okay, to their own populations, but then they went from a feudal backwater to beating America in the space race by sending Yuri Gagarin to space before America. That's crazy. That's crazy feat. You have to recognize that. You have to recognize the good and the bad. If you look at it, and Noah is an econ guy. If you look at that, and if you look at the metric of like development, technological development, agricultural development, even though, not great on the Russian front for that either. Okay? If you look at all of that, you have to adjust it to the material conditions of where the Russian Empire was standing at and where it got to in such a short time frame. That, objectively, is a success. Okay? America on those same metrics would be considered a failure with how much money it has, how much control it has, how much power it has, and how little it saves its own, how little it does to save its own citizens. That's a demonstrable failure. It's all a matter of what the metrics of success are. Okay? Now, you're really on one today, LeMFAO. I mean, I don't think I've said anything offensive unless you think that, like, being the wealthiest country on the fucking planet and having, like, the absolute worst quality of life in comparison to comparable OECD nations that literally are standing in the way that they are due to, obviously, their own imperialist policies originally, or, their colonial wealth that they've accrued, or the continuation of imperialist policies, but also simultaneously the Marshall Plan. You know what I mean? Like, these guys, these OECD nations that are our most important allies in the world, like in Western Europe and whatnot, these guys are alive due to the economic help that they got. And more importantly than that, due to the fact that they didn't get as much interference from the United States, even though they did, but not to the same degree as, like, a direct coup d'etat, right? Maybe more indirect forms of control through NATO, but not a direct one like in Chile, right? And that led to a tremendous amount of prosperity. And also, dude, just move then? That's your answer? Why is it that so many motherfuckers, first of all, move where? China? But I don't like Chinese policies. But also, why is it that you can be a 12-month subscriber and someone who supposedly is a liberal? Oh, you're joking. Okay. Because many people said this in my replies. So many neoliberals turn into Stephen fucking Crowder at the first sight of criticism of the American position. Okay? The point isn't that you hate America. The point is that you only hate America and you have zero guiding moral principles outside of that. You should have guiding ethics and politics beyond America bad. Says Bemby philosophy. Oh my God. What the fuck is going on? Anyway, this is Cope. My guiding moral principles, okay, my ethics, my moral standards are quite literally the reasons as to why I say America bad. It is those who say, no, America good, actually. They are the ones who do not have any guiding philosophies or real moral principles beyond masking their genuine Western chauvinist perspectives with a little bit of, it has to happen this way. It has to be this way. America has to be the dominant force because objectively it's better than China. Objectively it's better than anyone else. How about no singular power? That's a lot of words to say you just want to appease dictators. If America's war machine was dismantled, there would instantly be genocides all over the world. The only thing stopping constant war on the planet is American power. Russia would take the Baltic states and China would take Taiwan the second America couldn't defend them. Yeah. China would take Taiwan the second America couldn't defend them, except for some reason they didn't in all of this commotion that's happening, when it was a perfect opening for China to engage in that if they were so desperate to do so. Remember, I told you this. Okay? So, this is probably my least popular attitude, which is why a lot of my naysayers love harping on this, because there is a tremendous amount of propaganda that pushes people to never question American hegemony. There's also a secondary fear that many Americans have that, like, what if the big scary guys overseas that we do not personally understand, what if they are worse than America? They could be, right? I'm not even discounting that personally. But that's the reason why most people in America still end up either quietly or vociferously defending American imperialism. This also definitely is, like, my major point of contention, my major difference from, like, a lot of my other counterparts in this space, my consistent criticism of the country that I pay taxes in, okay? My consistent criticism of the country that I live in. It is very frustrating that this is, unfortunately, one way to like hemorrhage viewership. You know, there's a lot of people that just want healthcare and never really think about anything else other than that. They've never really examined why people like us say America bad and then follow through on the examples of why it is bad. And yet, instead of examining those examples, they go, oh, you're just fucking saying America bad. That's it. You just hate America. Anyway, but to which I just, and here, this is what it is. This is what happened. So I replied to Noah. I said, America is bad. There's a mountain of evidence as to why. We live in a world where the U.S. is the hegemonic power. It takes tremendous amounts of violence and coercion to get there and keep that power. You think that's good. I think that's bad, and America should change its ways. Matty Iglesias said, change how? And this fucking weirdo said, he said the thing, and got very excited. To which I replied with, the U.S. is currently defending an apartheid regime which is engaging in ethnic cleansing and displacement with our weapons. We also let our other partner in the region, Saudi Arabia, commit a genocide in Yemen. Do you think either of these things are good? Was Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan, were these things good? To which he, I guess, replied with, yes, but your coverage on everything is based around this, and it has led to you sounding like a clown. Wrong about Ukraine, wrong about the U.S. missile strike in Iran, wrong about a hospital strike, acting like a ballistic expert. It's quite embarrassing, actually, which I hadn't seen until this very moment, which I will reply to in a second. But the idea that these motherfuckers have no principles and no positions opens them up to very little criticism, because I assume this drama baiting channel doesn't really talk about anything other than this guy sucks. This guy is bad. I'm going to talk about ReactGate or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to have any fucking political principles when your goal is to simply say, Hasan is bad and here is why. I'm going to take some shit out of context and make it seem as though he's wrong. Now, of course, if most of your videos are getting like 10K, 20K views, and then you pop off with like Hasan is bad and it gets 500 views or 500K views, you're going to do that. You're going to do that over and over again. And especially because you have no positions personally. That's it. This is the entire reason as to why the 4chan brigades were so successful in pushing alt-right politics for a very long time, because a lot of people online, they love the spirit of debate. They think like debates are where we find the truth about certain things, right? That's how you find out. But if you have no convictions, if you have no real positions, and you simply are there to smear the other side, you're going to get away with a lot. You can just say whatever the fuck you want, and most people don't know what your positions are. So you could just say something, and then people that don't like you will then glob onto that. They'll grab onto that and they'll go, yeah, you're right, this guy is bad. That's what happens. He seems to know a lot about your stream for a hater. Brother, my stream is populated by a lot of those people. So, Felix Biederman will be joining me on the broadcast at 1:30 today, by the way. So once again, the only verdict is content pops off because you pay them attention. I don't pay them attention and it still pops off. It doesn't matter. You just know their position is akin to, I just want to be left alone and let people live their lives without interference. That's not true. So, the question I have. No. No biting that. You have a toy. Your audio gate is off on the attack. Really? I don't know. I replied to Noah by saying America is bad, and Noah, I guess, took that as an opportunity to, once again, behave exactly like Steven Crowder. Okay? Every intellectual giant that is a Substack that loves neoliberalism, when questioned about American foreign policy, basically turns into fucking Steven Crowder. Like, it's so silly. He straight up replied, he quote tweeted me with this after I said America is bad and here is why. He went, there you go. He admitted it. Leftists only have one guiding moral principle, and it's anti-Americanism. It's good to see the country waking up to this fact. And it's like, dude, you didn't make an argument at all. You simply just went, look, this guy hates America. That is the most intellectually uncurious position you can take. How is this any different than what Steven Crowder does? Why? Aren't you supposed to be like progressive? What is happening? What the fuck? I made an argument. I know you saw it, but you don't respond. What was the argument? Wouldn't Russia invade the Baltic states without NATO support? Yeah, dude, that's what NATO was around for. I love that you see my message, but you don't respond because you know it's problematic. Brother, Russia got fucking owned in Ukraine. Okay? What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? You're literally doing the thing where you're like, Russia is both the most powerful fucking imperialist superpower and also the same guys that like couldn't move beyond the territories that they're holding on to now, which is still more than they had before they invaded Ukraine. Okay? A strategic blunder on all parts. But get the fuck out of here. I made an argument. I know you saw it, but you don't respond. No, I didn't respond to it because I didn't see it. Yeah, NATO was formed post-World War II to protect Soviet-controlled Baltics from post-Soviet Russia. They had tremendous foresight. And certainly wasn't a way to just like quietly and sometimes loudly put fascists back into control in the European countries because they were the most anti-communist, because we recognized that like that was the real enemy. America did. What happened, dude? I thought Russia was taking over the whole country and then going into Poland. What happened? Here's the difference. If you, in your career, like Noam Chomsky, for example, who is definitely anti-American imperialism, okay, and one of the most important voices in anti-American imperialism as a whole, okay, if you get one thing wrong, or if you ever say something that can be misconstrued in your career, they will literally yell at you forever. Even if you get 99% of everything else right, and at a time when the state is regularly spreading misinformation. If you side with neoliberal foreign policy talking heads, okay, it won't matter. You can get everything wrong. And they have. And the consequences of that have been incredibly fucking bloody. Specifically, even when when we talk about Ukraine. They can get away with saying Russia blew up its own fucking pipeline, which is like an insane thing to say. And then quietly go, yeah, actually, maybe it wasn't Russia. Like a couple weeks later. And no one will remember it. You can get every single foreign policy take wrong. Every single one. But as long as you are siding with the United States of America, okay, then it doesn't matter. These fucking weirdos cut videos about how China is going to invade Taiwan every day. No one turns around and goes, brother, when is China invading Taiwan? Why hasn't this happened yet? Maybe it'll happen 20 years down the line. Maybe it'll happen 10 years down the line. So they can go, oh, I was right all along. Okay, well, you were wrong for the past 30 fucking years. What are you saying? These guys can make videos about how China is collapsing tomorrow. China is collapsing tomorrow. China is collapsing tomorrow over and over again. Those videos will get millions and millions of views. But ultimately, it's not sound analysis. It's just feeding into American exceptionalism and Western chauvinism. And a lot of people want to be babied on this issue. They do not want to hear things outside of people just feeding them the same fucking propaganda over and over again. And if they're wrong on it, it doesn't fucking matter because no one will ever second guess it. No one will ever second guess it. So I urge you, if you are intellectually curious, to, I don't know, look at a broad variety of information on issues. Have you considered that I like to be told things that I think are true? Exactly. And it's just like this never-ending feedback loop. But once again, like I said, I expect more from someone like No Opinion, who is at least like an independent person. You know what I mean? He's supposed to hold up intellectual curiosity as an important formative value. So, once again, it's always odd when I see someone like that also LARP in the same exact direction as everybody else. Social imperialism. But when they cannot address the actual issues at hand, they'll try to fucking grab anything and everything they can to be like, well, I don't know, in an endless sea of bombing the living shit out of Gaza, what if the Al-Shifa hospital wasn't bombed by Israel? Why? Because Israel told me so. They've lied every single day since then and lied every single day before then and have continued to blow up other hospitals and ambulances and whatnot. But guess what? Let's have a conversation about this now for 2 weeks on hand as they continue fucking blowing up other medical professionals. Even though the propaganda that they put forward was literally dismantled by Western outlets. And to this day, we still do not have conclusive evidence on Al-Shifa. But you know what we do have conclusive evidence on? Israel has been sieging other hospitals in the area. But you literally cannot engage on this point. So what you must do instead is just like grab on, just buckle in. The Al-Ahli hospital, not Al-Shifa, sorry. The Al-Ahli hospital was the one where we were talking about the bombing and who did it. Al-Shifa is the one that's being sieged right now. Apologies. Matt Iglesias responded, change how, to which Ryan responded, stop sanctioning everybody, respect democracy, don't overthrow the government of Pakistan because we're offended by Imran Khan, re-enter the Iran deal, compete with China by doing an even better Belt and Road, make things not war. To which Yashar said, the Iran deal does nothing to stop the Islamic Republic's malign behavior in the region and around the world. It only deals with the nuclear program, which was never a true threat to begin with. Oh, didn't tell that to Israel. The nuclear stuff was always a distraction. Ryan said it's a step towards bringing them into better relations with the West and giving them something to lose if they keep up their malign behavior. If there's nothing to lose, the faction pushing malignancy is strengthened, which he's right on. To also, Matt Iglesias responded to Ryan and said, you can't really do the Iran deal and unilaterally stop sanctioning so many countries. Ryan replied and said, yeah, you could dramatically move the sanctions bar and still do an Iran deal while relieving a bunch of stress elsewhere, while relieving a bunch elsewhere. I love this guy going, the U.S. overthrowing Khan's government is pure conspiracy theory. How are you people buying into this? To the guy who literally, and then he added the two guys that uncovered the story. He went, do the Intercept folks really buy into this? Please, Murtaza Hussein, do the Intercept guys really buy into this? Where is this coming from? I wonder. Oh, that's right. Anyway, so the reason why I did this is because, all of this still ties back to Israel, which is a continuation of American foreign policy. Okay? That's it. This all stems from a deep insecurity that they feel that they know America's on the decline. I think so too. Yeah. Hasan doesn't really care about the people. He streams for money and views. He's a greedy millionaire, just like the rest of them. His viewers are far left, so he must say America bad and advocate for neo-anti-Semitism. That's right. I have the most brilliant foresight on the planet that 10 years ago, I noticed that I would be one of the only 3 people that are actually successful while simultaneously advocating for these policies that are deeply unsuccessful and unpopular in America because I believe that they are right. I believe that they're morally correct. Okay? Yeah, when I had 30 people watching me. Okay. How about this? Let's say that's correct. Let's say I'm a capitalist grifter. Okay? And I'm saying all this stuff because you believe secretly that this stuff is really popular everywhere because you're fucking brain broken by Twitter and you think that Twitter is real life. And then anytime the American government shows that Twitter is not real life and they don't give a fuck about like even popular things, and they will just behave in a way that is aligned with corporate interests regardless, and you go, well, I guess Twitter is not real life, lol, as though we didn't fucking know that. Let's say that I don't care about the people on our stream for money and the views. I'm a greedy millionaire, right? What changed about what I'm saying? Why is it that you never can respond to the arguments and instead simply just go, you're rich, lol. Okay, well, if you are positioned against me, then you must be a capitalist, right? And if you are a capitalist, then why the fuck are you getting mad at me? You should respect me for having the foresight and knowing full well that I could carve a niche market for myself, despite the fact that I could make a shit ton more money if I was a fucking grifter, just like all of those other grifters that you probably watch. I can respond to your arguments, but you will ban me, Lamafayao? No, I will not ban you for responding to my arguments. I ban people for derailing the stream sometimes. I currently have you on screen. Just go ahead. Tell me the Iraq war was justified. Tell me that the Israeli apartheid and mentioning that Israel is an apartheid state is actually unjustifiable and is actually neo-anti-Semitism, as you've claimed. Stop adding everyone I pull up to the stream chatters. You did not address anything here. Okay? His viewers are far left, so he says America bad and advocate for neo-anti-Semitism. So, the question is, one, do you think Israel is an apartheid state? Or rather, let me reframe it. One, why do you disagree with the reality that Israel is an apartheid state? Okay? Go ahead. Answer that question. What a silly argument. If you wanted, you could have banned him for his initial statement. I know. His initial statement was idiotic, and I didn't ban him. I gave him charitability because I want to understand what this position is. So let's hear it. America, fuck yes, stands, dude. They got nothing. The saddest part is so many of these motherfuckers literally just sound like Steven Crowder, but they think they're above that shit. They think they're somehow different than Steven Crowder. Okay? Anyway, while I wait for this dumbass, let's listen to what Yanis Varoufakis had to say.
Try very hard to extract from people like me.
Oh, I don't live there, but according to Palestinians like Yosef Haddad, it's just anti-Semitic propaganda. I live in Italy, and our government is far more conservative than the Israeli one. First of all, what? What are you saying? Dude, just read this, okay? Here. Chatter, just read this. Okay, this is an Israeli Information Center for Human Rights in the occupied territories, okay? Go ahead. Here. Just read this and come back to me, okay? Here. Yosef Haddad. What the fuck do you mean? One guy? Think about this. Think about this line of thought, Italian man. Think about your line of thought. Your argument is, well, one Palestinian said that it's anti-Semitic propaganda. Okay, well, here's a fucking Israeli human rights group that says it is an apartheid. Okay? Here's the thing about liberals. They love talking about Human Rights Watch and Amnesty International when it comes to China, when it comes to America's foreign adversaries. But when those very same groups turn around and mention in no uncertain terms, like very, very clear terms, that Israel's an apartheid state, because it is, they go, oh, you can't trust the Human Rights Watch. So what happened? What happened? Not this guy, but others do this all the time. Ask them, why do you not care about the Human Rights Watch when it comes to this shit? I thought you loved using the Human Rights Watch. Yosef Haddad is a Zionist propagandist. I don't know who the fuck Yosef Haddad is, but one person's takes doesn't fucking change anything. And then he sent me a fucking YouTube video. I'm gonna lose my mind. Epic video, dude. Thank you. Also, you got clapped by Fossabot because you tried to send a fucking link when you're not subscribed. Just letting you know. You didn't get, like, free speech blocked or anything. Epic video, dude. How are you any different than the fucking Sargon of Akkad? He's Israeli, not Palestinian. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even fucking matter. The guy saw a brown dude and thought, oh, this guy must be Palestinian. But here's what's funny, okay? Here's what is funny about this entire situation. This is no different for all the fucking debate perverts out there. What most of you do without realizing is no fucking different than, especially on this issue, than like all of the Sargon of Akkads of the world that you thought you were above, okay? All you could turn around and go is like, well, these guys said some anti-Semitic things, so obviously Israel's not an apartheid state, I guess. Like you're doing the, look around, there's so many videos over and over again. And you're doing the exact same thing on when it comes to crime, for example. Where you're like, well, look around, there's so much crime happening. You're behaving like a reactionary while simultaneously thinking that you're actually progressive. It's childish, it's stupid, and you're wrong. Yosef Haddad is a Palestinian Israeli who's brainwashed by growing up in Israel. I don't give a shit who Yosef Haddad is. One guy in his fucking YouTube video does not change the reality on the ground, okay? It doesn't. And this is not my first foray into talking with people who claim they're fucking progressive while simultaneously lapping up and regurgitating stupid-ass reactionary propaganda, okay? I think you guys forget, I literally worked with Dave Rubin, okay? I saw this happen. I saw the why I left the left strategies. It's so stupid. Oh, why I left the left. I'm still a liberal. I'm just a real liberal. I'm still a liberal. I'm just a progressive liberal. What happened? Under Donald Trump, so many of the people openly saw that that was stupid, right? Because they hated Donald Trump, and these guys were sucking off Donald Trump. So they were like, okay, well, these guys are bad. They're lying about being a liberal, it turns out. Now, all of those very same guys do the same shit. They don't say that they aren't progressive any longer. Some of them do. Some of them are at least honest about it. Okay? But they still maintain the posture that they're fucking liberals ultimately, while taking all of the... Look, dude. Hasan is like the left-wing version of Ben Shapiro, two faces of the same coin. I'm sorry, brother, but you can't do this after coming in here, trying to fucking prove a point. I give you an actual fucking... an actual organization on the ground that has been documenting everything that Israel's been doing and why it's an apartheid state. And instead of fucking replying to that, or maybe like using this as an opportunity to learn more, and I'm trying to be as charitable as possible to you, you turn around and you go, well, this one YouTube video says it's not. I mean, that's insane. That's insane. And then you turn around and you say, I'm like the left-wing version of Ben Shapiro. Like, please exercise a little bit of fucking criticism, self-criticism, exercise a little bit of fucking just critical thinking. Oh. What happened? You just demonstrated that you literally do not have any principles whatsoever, and you're just in here to shit smear. Also, you just made up a funny term, too. I'm a post-Zionist. I don't even know what the fuck that is. I've never heard that before. Yeah. Post-Zionist, neo-anti-Semitism, fascisms are going bonkers with the word salad. I don't think this guy's a fucking fascist, okay? I don't think he is. I think he's just a little misguided. He probably watched a bunch of fucking hate videos on me, and he got misguided. Send me the link. I'll read it, but I need the link. Yeah, someone sent you the link. One of my mods sent you the link. Go read it. Maybe it will help you reconsider, okay? There is no more clear open and shut case than this, okay? You can't, this is anti-Semitism your way out of the situation. If you debate, stop doing direct attack. This is from someone that watched too many debates. I mean, I'm not even doing that right now. It's easy to have no public views and go around being a general motherfucker online. You never have convictions for anything while saying whatever you want about anyone else. A million of these guys online. I know. It goes back to that same guy who like covers YouTube drama, but then all of a sudden is like an expert on Israel, I guess. And it's like you have to ask that person, like, do you think Israel's an apartheid state? Do you know anything about Israel or Palestine? Or are you just in here to be like, Hasan is bad, by the way, so you can fucking shamelessly try to gain a little bit of prominence and a crumb of clout off of this? You know, not the guy that I'm yelling at right now.
Those who
so stupid
try very hard to extract from people like me, from DiEM25, a condemnation of the attack by the Hamas guerrillas will never get it. And they will never get it for a very simple reason. Those who care about humans without any discrimination, those who care equally about a Jew and an Arab, must ask themselves a very simple question. What exactly is their idea of the cessation of hostilities? That Palestinians are going to lay down their arms and go back into the largest open-air prison in the world, where they are constantly suffocated by the apartheid state? In other words, back in South Africa, in the era of apartheid, what was the problem? Was it that some members of the black resistance, including the ANC, but not only the ANC, took up arms against the South African regime and sometimes killed innocent people? Was that the problem with apartheid? No, the problem was apartheid. Apartheid, whether it's practiced in South Africa or in Palestine or Israel, is always going to procure violence because it's a violent, misanthropic system. Any human being living under apartheid at some point will either die a terrible silent death or rebel and often take innocent people with them. The criminals here are not Hamas, not even the Israeli settlers who are killing Palestinians. The criminals are Europeans, us, every single member of our German society, our French society, our Greek society, our United States society. We have participated in this crime against humanity over the decades by keeping our mouths shut as long as there is no trouble down there, as long as people are dying outside the reach of cameras, as long as it's Palestinians who die and not the occupiers. So this incredible tragedy must be converted into an opportunity for us Europeans to wake up and to redeem ourselves by demanding that collectively we take the first decisive step towards peace, and that is the destruction of the state of apartheid, just like we did in South Africa.
Yeah. So, yeah, I would love to have Yanis Varoufakis on the show, but I can't. That's as close as you get to the perfect answer to the depraved browbeating from media and the political class demanding you commit Hamas. I would just add that this is in the clip below. That's the very same scum are actually genocidal terrorists. Do not let yourself be browbeaten by depraved genocidal Western media and political class. There was also, hold on, there was another thing I wanted to show you. Like, the thing is, does Hamas engage in acts of terror? Absolutely, okay? Killing civilians is an act of terror. That's it. That's precisely why Israel is the most militarized terrorist state in this conflict, in this specific conflict, and is engaging in that act of terror over the Palestinian population by, one, maintaining an apartheid regime, which is brutal and awful, okay, but also, two, by engaging in the act of direct ethnic cleansing and ethnic displacement to the tune of millions of Palestinians being forcibly relocated currently from the northern Gaza Strip. Okay? There's no uncertainty here. There's no confusion here. That is what's going on. And everyone that tries to tell you that it's confusing or complex or complicated or difficult to understand is saying that because they're too cowardly to say Israel should be able to do whatever the fuck they're doing. Okay? That's it. But they want to do this under the auspices of liberal, progressive values, right? Which is precisely the reason why they can't just openly say it as it is, and they hide behind terms like complexity and confusion. Here's Vox's very own Zach Beauchamp, who says, look, there are black and white morals situations of politics. Sometimes everything is simple, and the blame can be neatly assigned to one side. I do agree with this, by the way. Israel-Palestine is not one of those cases. Never has been, and I'm suspicious of anyone who suggests it. That's what the senior correspondent at Vox said. I do agree there are black and white moral situations, and then there are gray ones, okay? The problem is Israel is probably one of the greatest examples of a situation that isn't fucking morally gray. It's black and white. You would never say that about apartheid South Africa. You wouldn't say that about chattel slavery. You wouldn't say that about Nazi Germany. And you wouldn't say that about apartheid South Africa. So why? Why are you trying to say, well, this is great, it's great? I don't understand why people say this. Israel's an apartheid state. This is immoral and should end. How to get there might be hard, but the morality is pretty simple unless you believe Israel's security concerns necessitate brutalizing 5 million Palestinians and keeping 6 million in refugee status. It's that simple. So Israel is just plain evil? Okay. I'm not saying that. You're the one who's attributing this to Israel. You want to know why you're attributing it to Israel? Because when you come to terms with the morality of the situation, you go, oh, you know what? You're right, actually. Yeah, this state is behaving in a very evil manner. But you don't want to recognize that, so you go, so they're just plain evil? Okay. No, there's material reasons as to why Israel operates in the way that it does. Okay? But the impact of that is really bad. The impact of that on the ground is really bad to the Palestinians. And it's really bad to the Israelis as well in less immediate ways, okay? It's not as easy to discern the secondary impact that, like, maintaining an apartheid state does to the soul of an entire nation, okay? Previous nihilist chatter responded, by the way. Oh, he did? What did he say? Did he learn about it? This is why I say it is virtually impossible for you to look at the situation on the ground in a situation like Israel-Palestine and not immediately be shocked by the horror. Okay? Not immediately be shocked by the horror. It is not something that is impossible to discern. I agree that there's Jewish supremacy and a lot of racist Jews in Israel, but there are racist people in every country. I face racism myself as a person of color, and I don't support liberal Zionism. I support post-Zionism and labor Zionism, and I love Ben-Gurionism in general. Israel is different. Some Israelis are racist. That's it. I read some of it. Go read all of it, and then come back. Okay? I gave you an Israeli human rights organization. I love Ben-Gurionism in general, he says. Okay, man. Thank you. Thank you for the labor Zionist position that you had. Like, motherfucking Einstein recognized that this shit was, like, untenable. Okay? And that was, like, 75 fucking years ago. But here we are in 2023, and this guy's like, oh, I don't know. I'm different, dog. I'm different. Anyway, you can't be out here. Einstein supported Zionism for many years. Yeah, I know. That's why I used him as an example. Hold on. It happened 2 times where Israeli soldiers are taking propaganda pictures of being nice to Palestinians and immediately executing them on the safe passage. I haven't read accounts on that. I mean, I saw Twitter posts on it, but yeah. Support Zionism for years doesn't make you support Zionism now. Dumbass cheddar, people change. Yeah, I know. People will be like, MLK was a Zionist. Anyway,
But now
Here.
let's look at the Hamas charter. The Hamas charter was written by maybe half a dozen people in 1988 at a moment of an extreme Israeli attack on Gaza. It has no status. They've repeated over and over again that it doesn't apply anymore. And if you're interested in charters, why keep to that? Take the governing party in Israel, Likud. It grew out of Cherut. That's its ideological center, Begin's Cherut, Netanyahu's Cherut. Its position, never changed, is that the land of Israel, that the entire land of Israel belongs to the Jews. That includes today's Jordan, okay? In fact, the old slogan was both sides of the Jordan. That's ours and this is too. They've never changed that. So that's their charter. Did anybody pay attention to it? Of course not. Then came the January election, and Israel intensified its attack with U.S. support. After that, there are repeated attacks, Israeli attacks, and ceasefires agreements. Every ceasefire agreement is approximately like what I read. What happens is Israel completely dismisses and disregards it, maintains the siege in violation of the ceasefire, increases the violence. Hamas lives up to it, and Israel officially accepts that agrees to that, until some escalation of Israeli violence leads to a Hamas reaction, and then another episode of mowing the lawn. That's been going on since November 2005. Hamas is not a nice organization. They do a lot of rotten things. That's for the Palestinians to worry about. But it has nothing to do with us. If we were supporting Hamas, nothing, zero. If we were supporting Hamas, it would be our problem. But we're not. And what they do is for Palestinians to deal with. What we deal with is what we are doing, which is supporting massive criminal operations all over the region, blocking peace. That's for us to be concerned.
Yeah. That's why it's always like, bro, what the fuck? How am I supposed to tell Hamas what to do and what not to do? What am I going to do? I have no control. And I personally understand, as many do as well, that they are born out of this apartheid structure. Okay? You breathe fire into Hamas, and and legitimizes existence every time you fucking kill another Palestinian. That's it. So stupid. Very same people that don't want to fucking recognize the ethnic cleansing. The very same people that don't want to recognize the ethnic cleansing that is going on right now and the ethnic displacement that's going on right now are also the very same people that fucking try to turn around and refuse to reckon with the history. It's so easy to just be like, oh, dude, you're fucking saying America bad, or you're saying Israel bad, and that's because you're anti-Semitic, and not because of all of the things that you have covered. And instead of all of the things that you have covered, instead of all the things that you've mentioned, instead of all the organizations that you work with, instead of all of the genuine facts on the ground of the matter, I will just fucking look to whatever I can to be like, well, you were wrong. Yeah, guess what? Anyway. Like, dude, listen, look, here it is. Hasan, what is more anti-Semitic than wanting Israel to become another fundamentalist Muslim country? Brother, here's how this works, okay? What you are doing right now, unironically, is just rehashing what I already mentioned. Every single argument devolves into two categories: Islamophobia, all Muslims are barbaric, anti-Semitic, ruthless monsters, and also two, and they're fundamentalists, every single one of them, and also two, Israel's national security concerns are the reason why there has to be an apartheid state to stop this from happening. You just so whatted away a nationalist ethno-state. There are almost 50 Muslim countries in the world and only one Jewish. Okay? This is not an argument that is new. I've heard this a million times over. Okay? I've heard this a million times over. You don't get to go, all right, well, guess what? There's only one Jewish country, so they get to have an apartheid state. That's insane. That is not an argument. That's not an argument. Once your bubble is popped, once your bubble is bursted in this regard, you all of a sudden, when you're in a circle of people who don't understand it, do you hate nationalism so much? Yes, nationalism was utilized as an emancipatory movement in post-colonial nations. Okay? Nationalism, once you are established as a nation state, is quite literally just Nazism. That's what it is. That's what's going on. Also, Muslims are not an ethnicity, for the record. Like, I don't know if you know this, but many Muslim nations fight against one another. The idea that like there is consensus among the entire population of the entire Islamic world is ridiculous. But you can only engage in this like argument that they are a monolith if you are just like an Islamophobic racist person. Anyway, also Israel is an ultra-nationalist country as well. And now we're back to the 2014 era Sam Harris-ass arguments. Wait, if Islam is not a religion, how is Islamophobia racist? If Islam is a religion, how is Islamophobia racist? Islamophobia is racialized, dumbass. That's the reason why in the aftermath of 9/11, the first hate crime that was done wasn't done on a Muslim person, but a Sikh one, because he was wearing a fucking turban. Okay, because he was brown and he was wearing a fucking turban. That's the same exact reason why most people don't know I'm Muslim until they find out what my name is. Because Islamophobia is racialized. Are you stupid? How do you not understand these very basic concepts? Okay, we're done. I can't. Remember, this is why I stopped. This is why I stopped debating fucking losers in the chat, okay? Because every single time I used to pull motherfuckers in and shit on them, okay? Some other guy would go, well, that guy was stupid. I actually have really good ideas. Because remember, we started this conversation with this person where he basically was like, well, actually, personally, you know, you don't get it. Like, you don't have good arguments. I can respond to your arguments, but you will ban me. Hasan doesn't care about the people. He streams for money and views. So I asked him, okay, well, then address the arguments. Okay? My background is irrelevant. What you think about my background is irrelevant. Address the arguments. And it fell apart immediately. He went with, well, here's a YouTube video. And then a bunch of other shit like, I love Ben-Gurionism. Israel's different. Some Israelis are racist. That's it. I read some of it. Not a single argument has been addressed. It has basically been a 30-minute back and forth where I'm trying to do as... I'm trying to fucking be as charitable as possible. And the argument is like falling apart. And he's just like grabbing onto whatever the fuck he can. He says, you're not Muslim, Hasan. You're an agnostic person. Oh my God. I'm going to lose my mind. You should tell that to all the fucking Hasanabi heads out there who keep saying I'm fucking Hamas. Anyway, the reason why I don't do these kinds of conversations any longer is not because you guys have some like brilliant insight that I am genuinely scared about. Okay? You don't. There's a couple different reasons. One, at the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. And if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. Two, you can also get gifted a sub if you are lucky. Hasanabi's Nipple, thank you for the 5 community gifted subs. As I was stating, Yo, Hasan, I'm Palestinian. I live in Palestine. I was watching since 3 years. I respect whatever you said, and people are stupid. Thank you. Law tip. Words and sound logic don't change people. Experiences do. Mine was visiting jail and seeing what criminal punishment means in this country. To make an argument that changes someone is to take them on a journey. The person has to be willing to walk that path with you, though. Shit is hard. Keep it up, champ. I know. I just despise so many people that have become so utterly uncharitable as a consequence of like all of my worst moments being laid out in front of me time and time again. You know what I mean? Angry moments, things that are clipped out of context that just recirculate over and over again. over and over again that serve only one purpose, and that is to say he's bad. His opinions are wrong. His opinions are wrong, without ever trying to understand what these opinions are. And that person basically demonstrated exactly why I don't do these kinds of things usually. Because one, it's unproductive, unhelpful. You're usually just like engaging with someone who is not very smart. Okay, I could do that by like replying to him in chat, or I could do that by bringing him into Discord. And the reality is that like it will be the same. It'll be the exact fucking same thing. It'll be like Ben Shapiro dunking on fucking college students. Okay. And that's great. That works really well for TikTok. And I maybe should go back to that a little bit every now and then. Okay. But ultimately, I try to, I don't know, do my very best to keep engaging with people and try to stay on message and not get derailed. The problem is, as soon as I yell at one of these guys, then 11 other guys pop up and they have just the same fucking idiotic arguments, but they pop in and they think, oh, well, that guy was stupid. Okay, that guy was stupid. I actually have a really good take now. Trust me. You don't understand. And we're just, circling the drain. Exactly. It's just shit. I've done all of this already. Anyway. Hasan, why do you think your takes are great and enlightened? Hasan, you're not too smart either. You're just rich. I'm an Italian and I live in poverty. I do the best I can. Oh, brother, you just dropped the let's talk about the arguments and literally just started doing the same thing that we were just talking about. Okay? I don't think my takes are so great and enlightened. And I also say I'm stupid all the time. Okay? I literally say it all the time. I've never strayed away from that. I have consistently said I'm not a very smart guy. Okay? You are the one who's saying that you claim to be very intelligent. I never have. I think I have a decent conscience here. Okay? That's what it is. Israel's not an apartheid state. Do you want me to explain why? Okay, dude. Let's hear it, buddy. Come on. Go ahead. Should I do a guest star with this dumb fuck? I genuinely am like, no, come on. Go ahead. I want to hear it. I want to hear it. Go ahead. From an Italian post-Zionist man. Where is he? How do I guest star, motherfuckers? Don't give Italians any sauce. I'm so sick and tired of just people constantly fucking saying the dumbest shit. Where is he? What was his username? I'm going to try to see if I can invite him on guest star. Nihilistic misanthropy. How do I do a guest star? I don't even know how to do it. I've never done it. Let's see. Add community. Is that what it is? Guest star. Guest star. Is that how it works? Stream together? No. Is that what it is? Is it stream together? Is that how I do it? Is that guest star? Create a channel. Safely brings guests onto your stream. Here we go. Guest star. Backstage activity will be recorded for safety. Group capture browser source. Individual browser source for each guest. No. Just never mind. Use audio only. Okay. Here, I'm going to invite you. You can just talk on it. Okay? How about that? Add sources in your streaming software. I don't have my... Okay. I sent you an invite. I know what he's going to say. I already know the talking points. I just want to hear him say it. Why is he not responding? I don't understand. I've invited you as a guest. Refresh. Keep streaming. I'm writing the message in the meantime with different explanations. Wait, No, motherfucker, I'm inviting you to the stream. You can speak to me in real time if you want to. Come on, dude. What do you mean you're writing the message in different... Oh, Jesus Christ. Bro's like, hold on, dude. I got a fucking essay to write. Okay, how about you just come on and tell me exactly what you want to say? What is happening here? I'm too shy? Oh. Oh. Dying a little bit. Okay. Well, I guess we're not doing a guest star. I tried. Man, social anxiety is a bitch. Okay, dude. Chatters are so funny. No, here's the problem, okay? There's no real point regardless. It's just a derail, okay? These guys don't want to do any of this shit. They just want to fucking chirp. That's it. That's it. This chatter was in a chat this morning. They were insane. Oh. Said eating meat is evil. If he talks to you, you can't spitball a big paragraph of insults in his Discord. I mean, it's always a waste of time. All of these things are a waste of fucking time. Always. I love being a vegan and being like, dude, eating meat is so bad, but also then just straight up being like, why not challenge someone who's well versed on the subject and used to talking in front of 25K plus people instead of some random chatters who isn't projecting cowardness? Really? I mean, I don't know if you know this, but I literally went on television. Like I went on a relatively hostile interview on TV. What do you mean? What you actually mean is, why won't you debate my bad faith debate champion? Okay, that's it. Who will cut 1,000 fucking hours of videos, right? And watch you get rolled. Exactly. Do you want to come on and fucking roll me then, if that's what you think happened? Is that what you want? Do you want a guest star? You want the smoke? Or are you going to sit back and be like, well, I'm a pathetic little bitch who doesn't know how to talk about these things? No, I'm not versed, just stating facts. Exactly. You don't know anything. This is what I've literally been saying from the jump. That's the point. You don't know anything, and you're just like on it for team sports because someone that you like in a community that you like has literally told you, like, this guy's bad, and he got rolled, and neither do you. That's why you challenge chatters. I didn't fucking just challenge chatters. I literally told you. Not only have I, since the beginning of this incursion, literally have brought up Israeli Knesset members, scholars, PhDs, academics, have sourced all of my material from some of the most formative Israel scholars. Okay? I've had journalists on. You literally... You just refuse to look at any of that shit, and you go, you can't talk to a single person. I tell you an example of 2 different conversations that I had, one on BBC and one against Piers Morgan. You go, oh, you got rolled. Well, your opinion is fucking not important in this situation because you personally admitted you don't know the facts. You just admitted your own personal stupidity. No, I didn't get rolled there. You only think that if you're fucking stupid. That's the point. Oh my God, I'm losing my mind. It's just, it is a perfect demonstration. It is a perfect demonstration of just like bad faith, being bad faith. But it doesn't matter. You got your hug. It doesn't matter. You have your hug box and you're doing it. You're doing it right now. No, I don't challenge chatters. No, I told you why I don't fucking pull chatters up and debate them, okay? As many content creators do. The issue is, because it's unproductive, not because I'm like terrified of the talking points or whatever the fuck, okay? And the only time in the past, or at least in the past like 4 years, the only time I've ever done debates publicly is if I think there's a legitimate value to them, okay? And sometimes there is. If I'm going to be in front of a massive audience, for example, and be able to bring my talking points across, then I will do it. Okay? But again, you're smelling the blood. You're not genuinely interested in having a conversation. You're not interested in being Once again, charitable. I was going to debate Jordan B. Peterson at Oxford. He canceled. I've said time and time again that I would love to debate Ben Shapiro. Jubilee was supposed to facilitate this. I've said I would be down to do that. That's it. They love the app and try to piss you off like a kid poking a caged bear and with a stick, but God forbid that bear turn around and acknowledge him. That's my point. My point is like, a lot of these people want to fling shit from the guise of anonymity. That's it. And some of them have YouTube channels. You know what I mean? Here's another one in this. Hasan is a meat eater. It makes him evil enough. He could donate a lot more money if he really cared. It's like Hasan and Ben Shapiro, two sides of the same coin. Both sides good at populism. Yeah, I know where these talking points are coming from, bro. This is the motherfucker I wanted to talk about. I think I'm gonna bring this guy up because he's just eating good off this shit. Okay. Anyway, I said I'd love to hear your incredibly sound analysis on Israel. Please come on the stream and enlighten me on your perspective. Love to hear it. I can't do this anymore. I'm sick and tired of these motherfuckers, dude. Okay? Let's hear it. Let's hear it from this fucking guy. I'd love to debate you, but it wouldn't be good because I agree with 99.9% of your takes. I'm just saying, I want to hear what he has to say about my takes on Israel, because, you know, he's over here talking about like, oh, you have the fucking, these people have 20K followers, circle jerking in their insulated communities. Don't matter. I've been itching to use this guest star feature. I don't get why you even entertain some of this shit. Man, I haven't for a very long time. He's just a drama farmer. He has no real opinions. I want to know. I want to know what's going on. That guy is literally 46 years old. No shot. Are you serious? I don't know anything about this motherfucker. You can tell that dude is not a fan watching. He's like liking NASCAR. It's a matter of time before you and Chad start fighting. It's part of the appeal of your channel, in my opinion. Yeah. Another Haas hater in his 40s. I mean, that's crazy. Hutch has been nonstop talking about your Israel positions with no pushback either. I don't care about Hutch. I'll be honest. Literally just a drama channel. All of dumb fuck views of 40-year-old Groiper virgins now, unironically. These people just want to say your entire community is racist off one chatter being mean at worst, while their entire community calls you Hamas / a terrorist. They're too stupid, unserious to engage with. I mean, let's see. Let's see what he has to say. I want to hear it. I mean, there's no way, right? I'm sure he would love to have a talk with me in person. He's like making a lot of these videos, it seems. Maybe we shouldn't take geopolitical opinions from a COD player. I mean, I don't know. You could say that about me too. I'm a fucking dumbass myself. It's only where those opinions are coming from. What is informing their perspective. So you're going to feed these dudes for weeks. I was on the Hasanabi broadcast today and owned a Sansa Blue Street clickbait. I would love to hear it. I want to see him own me, because I'm sure it seems like he has a lot of takes on the matter. You know, he has a lot of opinions. I want to know. Would you have a discussion with Lonerbox instead? Sure, I would. But I don't think this community might be shocked by this, but I don't think that Lonerbox and I would disagree on much. We would most likely disagree on how to implement a non-apartheid structure in Israel. Okay, but that conversation is theoretical anyway. But as far as a conversation with Lonerbox on Israel, he 100,000% agrees with the truth that Israel is an apartheid state. Yeah. And to me, there is not much to debate on that front. Oop, you're on his stream. Whose stream? Oh, he replied? Did he? What did he say? Oh, the shy guy did? No, I'm talking about this Willie Mac show fellow. Why is he not saying anything? Interesting. I wonder if he's like desperately looking for someone to feed him talking points at this very moment. Anyway, he's probably shy too, you know? But yeah, here is John Oliver from last season, or 2 seasons ago, talking about Israel-Palestine.
It can seem like the only time anyone pays attention to what's happening there is when Hamas is firing rockets, which is understandably very frustrating because they've been living under a suffocating blockade for 14 years. And in Israel and the occupied Palestinian territories, Palestinians are essentially being governed by a form of apartheid, an assessment echoed by both international and Israeli human rights groups. Life in Gaza is hard even when they are not being bombed, and the US government has implicitly co-signed on the brutally hard line.
Bill Vog, thank you
Israel's
for the
been
5
taking.
gift subs.
This guy basically gave Israel a green light to do anything it wanted for the last 4 years, and while Biden has had the opportunity to reset that relationship, his administration's response this week has been deeply underwhelming, giving a generic statement that Israel has a right to defend itself. It's the exact same line that Obama said and that Bush said before him. Israel has a right to defend itself is just something all presidents end up saying out loud at some point in office, like my fellow Americans, or what do you mean there are no aliens? This is some bullshit. And look, it's not that Israel doesn't have the right to defend itself. It's just that line cannot be used to excuse absolutely everything. Multiple children have been killed this week, 8 in a single strike just yesterday, and the US is heavily implicated here.
I've been watching more Loner Box lately. It seems to me like his perspective is that Arafat was more the reason why Camp David failed. I could be wrong, but he seems to blame both Palestine and Israel equally for the peace talks breaking down. Yeah, no, I don't. I've never gotten that. Wait, Loner Box just DM'd me, I think. Wait, and then didn't DM me? What the fuck? People are telling me you want to talk. I'm okay with impromptu. It might be better if you think there's a proper disagreement. Oh. Implementation. All this has shown is that legit most shouters of the community are just as desperate for drama as all the other weirdo communities. It has nothing to do with the actual carnage and tragedy happening in the Gaza Strip, and it's about rich people's egos and nothing else. Can we just focus on the actual news? I mean, there's only so much shit slinging that motherfuckers can do until I just, reply a little bit. So that's what I want to know from this drama farming guy. No response yet. So let's hear it. Let's hear what's going on, you know? Why can't his opinions hold up? He got banned? What do you mean he got banned? The Essays chatter got banned for his essay? What? I thought this was Variety News Day, not Stunlock on Israel Day /S. I'm just saying, dude, I want to hear from this fucking guy. He's like tweeting. He's tweeting. I want to know what he's got beyond the Twitter fingers. Like, I want to know his perspective. I'm sure he is incredibly, incredibly well informed on this matter, right? I'm sure he's got a lot of good takes. I just want to hear what he has to say. You are being naive. He's a bad faith actor. He will not come on. Well, then he should stop being a pussy. I'm just saying. I want to hear what he's got. People can farm all the drama they want. Fucking be above it. I think this is another one of these circumstances where, it's just a lot of these guys love talking about how much they just like shit slinging. Okay, they act like they know what the fuck they're talking about, but if you look at the actual depth of the knowledge, it never goes beyond just like Hasan has a car, he's rich, he's hypocritical. Here are some fucking clips from like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and he's always wrong. Y'all are being too nice to these basement dwelling trolls. I swear, expose these fuck for being a bunch of pussies with no morals to stand on. I want to know what he has to say. Because, like, he had a lot to say on Twitter. He was like, you're wrong on Ukraine. You're wrong on this. You're wrong on that. So I would love to hear what his gripe is. You know what I mean? But it doesn't seem like he has that same energy when it comes down to, like, actually talking to someone. And you can do it online. You can have all the people fucking feeding you all of the talking points that you want. You know? Where's the smoke? Hasanabi is more consistent on Palestine than my Palestinian family is Lamau. Like, dude, I'm sorry. This is sheer cowardice, okay? Here, let me show you something, okay? This right here is sheer cowardice, okay? Like, making these fucking videos and complaining and then going around and posting this shit. Yes, but your coverage on everything is based around this. And it has led to you sounding like a clown. Wrong about Ukraine. You're wrong about U.S. missile strike by Iran, which I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about. U.S. missile strike by Iran? Wrong about the hospital strike. Acting like a ballistics expert. I'm not a ballistics expert at all. Are we really just sitting here waiting for a dude on Twitter to reply? My God, dude. I mean, this dude has a channel and he's eating good. I've never watched a single fucking video of his because I make a policy not to, because I'll fucking maul too much. And then I'll literally go and end up having to like make a counter which only feeds into it. But what I will do, however, is talk to these guys. It's quite embarrassing, actually. If it's so embarrassing, then come talk. He derailed you, he won. I don't care. Farming will backfire if you actually talk to them. They know that, so they won't. I know. Here, I tweeted once again at him. Let's see. Why are you acting like such a debate pervert right now? Because I've fucking had it, dude. I've had it. It's like, the problem is this, okay? I have a conversation with someone I disagree with. With someone I disagree with. People literally just like see that person is getting owned. They reply with, well, a smarter person would actually make short work of you. I have a conversation with another person that I disagree with. They say the exact same thing. Okay? It's ridiculous. No way he joins. All of his critiques come from other people's critiques. He doesn't have his own positions. Yeah, it's just like, it's a drama farming dipshit who knows about like YouTube culture and is simply talking about this shit that he doesn't personally understand and trying to farm clips off of it so he can make another video, which in my opinion is cowardly. Keemstar says, you've lost. Keemstar, you want to talk about Israel-Palestine? We can do that right now, bitch. You ugly motherfucker. What the fuck are you doing in my chat? I thought we banned this piece of shit. What do you mean you lost? You old bitch. What are you going to do, bro? You're going to fucking make more drama alerts about this? Like it's fucking drama? Drama alert. 50-year-old man. Come on, dude. Unblock me on Twitter, Keem. Actually, don't do that. It's actually better that I don't have to see your dumbass takes. Pretty good. I'm very happy not seeing how stupid your takes are. It pisses me off. Homie Willie won the debate. What debate? Fucking, he's hiding. He's in hiding. You can just say this over and over again, but it won't make it true. I said, pull up. He is not replying. I know his ass sees it. I know he sees these fucking tweets. He's not replying. The fuck does that mean? Also, Ethan Klein had much better takes than you on the current conflict. I think Ethan does have a lot of great takes on this current conflict. You and I do agree on that. I'm glad. Do you want to pull up or do you want to fucking keep chirping in the chat? Do you want to fucking talk? Do you want to enlighten everybody? They're going to make you mad. Stop trolling. Stop responding to these trolls. I mean, I'm just asking. Why? Why won't he do it? They'll try to get you banned. I mean, they have time and time again. Remember Keemstar?
Did you just say, I ratioed you? You're just mad because I ratioed you. You know who else ratios me? Hasan Piker. Why are you and Hasan Piker completely different fucking...
My only take is calling for peace. It's not deeper than that. Wait, what? But that's my take too. What the fuck do you mean? So why the fuck are you trying to... Why the fuck are you chirping in here then, dumbass? The fuck? So, okay, so you're in agreement. We should get a ceasefire. Thank you. You're in agreement then that the apartheid should discontinue. Got it. Thank you, Keemstar, for agreeing with me.
Of the political landscape.
Woke King
Ratio
Keemstar.
and Keemstar. I don't know. One, nobody fucking likes me. I've accepted it. But two, you kind of cheated in all of this. You and Hasan Piker, both of you. because you're political fucking hacks, which means you come out and you say, I fucking love Trump or I love AOC or whatever the fuck, and you automatically get support because people are on the same fucking team. You have bad takes like Hassan Piker coming out saying, yeah, I love socialism, I love Bernie Sanders, but then he buys a $2 million fucking mansion. Or
Damn, you sound jelly beans, dude. What's happening? He buys a $2 million mansion. Oh, Jesus Christ. These are
some shit,
awesome.
right? He doesn't give any of his fucking money to the
First of all, it was $2.7 million. Get it right.
people. Giant hypocrite. He doesn't get called out because he's on a team. So
Yeah, definitely don't get called out for a thing that every incredibly lucky person has been able to do, you know, buying a house.
he gets team support. You're against cancel culture, but you're out here fucking calling out Disney Plus. You're calling out the fucking Star Wars series. You're literally trying to get this fucking actor fired, right? Huge hypocrite quartering, but you know what? You ratioed me. You want to know why? Because you're on a fucking team.
Here's the worst part about this. He put me a fucking quarter chicken pounder on the same team for some reason. Or like he mentioned both of us in the same vein, and I hate that. I hate that. Really messed up.
I'm on a team. I'm on this guy's team. Support me, guys.
Why has he been subscribed to me for 5 months? That part is weird as fuck. Follow him since 2019.
No one gives a fuck about your ratio. This is man shit between me and you. You're fucking wrong. And I know it, and you know it.
He's a fan. Yeah. He's a fan, but he gets his facts wrong because, you know, his analysis is bad. Can't even do drama right. Whoa. All right. Keemstar doesn't want it. Willie Mac Show doesn't want it. It's just like a lot of these guys, they love talking a big game on the timeline. They love making YouTube videos and being like, oh, you suck. Oh, my God. But again, the reality is many of them do not have any genuine political positions. And the ones that they do have are laughable. They are just doing it because it's a good way to farm drama. That's it. Team has a humiliation fetish is the only explanation. Willie's going to offer a time in the debate in the next few days, which means he's setting up something in the background. This is my prediction. Yeah, sure. Maybe he'll fucking hit the books in the meantime. You know what I mean? Compare the drama farming of these guys to a genuine response to you, a la loner box. Anyway. All right. So, let's get back to our coverage. So, thousands attended the March for Israel rally in Washington, D.C. NBC News covered it. A lot of news media, as a matter of fact, covered it. No such coverage, as far as I understand it. What? Why won't you take the L? Willie Mac's video was very good. You look horrible in it. That's so funny. Brother, if the video was so good, he should be able to, you know, come in here and describe his positions. I think there's nothing more cowardly and lame than being like, he made a YouTube video and he made you look bad. What do you mean? Okay. If that's the case, then I'm sure he should be able to defend what he's saying, right? And more importantly than that, he should be able to, you know, defend his broader political perspectives on the matter. Because anyone can make anyone look bad with editing. Unless you're an absolute baboon, which you are. Okay, he's not online now. Bitch, I know he was online. He literally fucking replied to someone right as I typed that shit out. Get out of here. He replied to someone at the same time that I was fucking replying to him. And then he just suspiciously went offline. Also, who's this we motherfucker? You speaking French? I will deal with him directly. I also sent him a DM. Why is he not responding? I know why he's not responding. Okay? I know what's going on.
For more on the Biden administration.
It's because he has nothing to respond with. He's like looking desperately, most likely, to gain as many talking points as he possibly can to come on and will most likely be like, oh, why don't you fight like some fucking random Nazi? Or why don't you debate some dude that will end up fucking covering this debate regardless and desperately get his community to fucking try to clip chimp you to make you look bad, as he's been doing for fucking years. That's all it's going to end up being. I know that already. Okay? Here's how this is going to go. If Willie Mac Show wants the fucking smoke, he will come on and he will address me directly. Okay? He will use as many spoon-fed talking points as he possibly can. And I will retaliate against those talking points that he is just vomiting all over the fucking broadcast, because he has no real opinions of his own. He doesn't. I know he doesn't. The reality of the situation is, as 4,500 children have been murdered in Gaza over the past month, okay, the maximum amount, the most amount of children that have been murdered in fucking war, okay? Hey, what up, Felix? Yo, 1 second. I'm duking it out with Keemstar in my chat right now. All right. Okay. Why don't you believe that he has any Willie Mac's positions when you haven't heard it yet? Because I know, man, you, him, most of these guys, you don't really think about this kind of stuff at all. You just care about fucking drama farming, bad faith clip chimping, and you're not even good at that, in my opinion. That's it. If you did, you wouldn't constantly, if you were legitimately interested in, like, at least doing even-handed coverage on people that you dislike, you would personally, at the very least, talk about, like, all of the different donations that this community has been able to fucking accrue. All the donations that I've made. But you don't care about it. It's like it's one-sided. It's just like shit smearing. And you're not even very good at that. You know what I mean? I have not watched a single fucking, a single video from this dude, and I already know exactly what he said because I've heard it 1,000 times over. That's it. Who cares about that? Good that you did charity, but that does not absolve the criticisms. Yeah, the problem is I'm trying to talk to someone who is critical, and yet for some reason he doesn't want to fucking get the smoke. Now here's the thing. I don't think it absolves me of the criticism either. The problem is that criticism is not in good faith, nor is that criticism constructive. That criticism is just shit smearing. And it's being, the shit smearing is being done by people who are not even genuinely interested in the politics of the situation or have any unique or creative opinions at all. That shit smearing is being done by bad faith chirpers. Okay? How do you know it's bad faith then? Because let me tell you, it'll be react content. He bought a house. He wears an expensive shirt, none of which is like in any way, shape, or form related to anything meaningful. Okay? It's just a way to farm clout. Yeah, she's massive. She has grown a lot.
It's like when you leave base in Metal Gear Solid 5 and you come back and Diamond Dog like has an eye patch and can go on missions.
Yeah. All right. We are, Biden says Gaza's largest hospital must be protected. Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, Felix Biederman is in the building. You can come a little bit closer, actually, and then let's, get right up in there. Get right up in that microphone.
All right.
Are the audio levels good? I don't know why every time you come here, you have a history of calling for violence, not peace. I don't speak for Willie, but I want peace, not war. You have a history for calling violence. He's going to fucking... Let me guess. You're going to say 9/11. You're going to fucking point to the clip chimp shit like where I was having a conversation with a landlord from like 2018 or some shit. I know.
Well,
What's up? Felix, every time you're here, Keemstar is in here. What do you think about that?
Well, as someone who's like, I've studied this conflict, obviously. I've looked at the solutions people have tried. Oslo, of course. And I think after the failure of Oslo, people should have looked into the Imagine Accords.
Yeah.
That's the most
Gal Gadot, Imagine All the People.
No, the Israel and Palestine should study Imagine.
Imagine?
You haven't seen that one?
Which one? Isn't it like Imagine All the People from like are you talking about this?
No. Keemstar, Israel, Palestine, Imagine.
Wait, what the fuck? You do know more about Keemstar's position on this than I do. What the fuck?
No, this is like, I mean, honestly, this is what people were saying during Oslo. It should be in images, honestly.
What is it? iFunny Brazil?
Yeah, there we go.
Oh my god!
So like he has been like calling for peace. That is
He
true.
is.
Yeah, that
He
is
is.
true.
Israel and Palestine need to study John Lennon Imagine?
Well, like, okay. Like in Israeli politics, you know how like most new parties, you got Likud, the labor Zionism is dead. There's no left in Israel.
Yeah.
But you have a few parties, like the few remaining like Ashkenazi dominated parties, they're all called something like, the direct translation of their name from Hebrew is something like
Hello people.
Good morning.
Hello people.
Yeah, happy handshake. and it's like all 73-year-olds who committed awful crimes but are now like, I do workshops for the youth in Lod. That's what they think. And, like, maybe things would be better if there was more of this. Who's to say?
I think, dude, he's right. Israel versus Palestine conflict be stopped if the people in the countries turn to science instead of religion. Dude, he's awesome.
This is, like, it's a great point.
Felix is right. Keem W, let's be real. Keemstar's been subscribed to me for 6 months.
Damn.
Which is crazy.
I mean, look, I think I could be more successful than Bill Clinton here. I could do a real Oslo Accord.
In getting your shit sucked in the White House.
No, I'm done with that part of my life. With all sexual contact. No more of that for me, thanks.
I feel that. Respect.
Damn, this guy's good.